Good morning, friends. How are you? Let's see. Let's get a good angle on this. I'm traveling right now and don't have quite my own setup here, so let's see what we can do. How's everybody? It's been a crazy week. I know everybody's hurting a lot, and we're just going to talk. So, we're getting murder verdicts from the police murder victim in Dallas. Both of them Jean, I believe. Both of them Jean, I believe his name is. The alleged conviction of Amber Guyger. Now, yesterday there was another police murder. This time a woman playing video games with an 8-year-old child on her couch. A policeman, a law enforcement officer, entered her home and killed her. And so again, friends, we're all online here expressing shock and horror about what's happening in our country and whether there is any justice or any remedy to the genocide and slavery that's going on in the United States. And the answer is a resounding yes, there is an answer, but it's not with your politicians, and it's not with the cops. It's not with asking Nazis to be nice. It's not with asking killers not to kill us. It's with taking our country back. That's a really hard thing to do. And when I say take it back, I mean take it for the first time, because we've never had it. We do not have equal protection under the law. We do not have equal protection under the law. That's a fact. Police officers are a special class of human being that is given the right to brutalize, frame, imprison, enslave, and murder any of us at any time. And they're given that contractual right by the politicians, bureaucrats, and the municipalities that we elect and hire them into. Police union contracts give police the right to use lethal force on anyone at any time in their pursuit of law and order. Now let's talk about that. A police officer, given police officer, is out on the street. All that police officer must do is think that an individual, that individual could be you, or it could be your child. If they think that that individual may have been involved in a crime that amounts to a felony, either now or at some time in the past, that thinking allows that police officer to use up to lethal force to arrest and detain that individual. Now, thinking is a very subjective thing, isn't it? I think police are Nazis. I think all of them are dangerous, and I think we should abolish police. Now, that's my thinking. I'm not sure what your thinking is, but that's my thinking because I know what the score is. I've been dealing with these killers and the results of their murders and the families that are left behind after state murder for a long time now. And even that long time seems longer because dealing with murder and death every day, murder by the state, by men and women with guns that have immunity for doing anything to you, anything to your child, anything to your parent, anything to your mother. This is the American police state, where police are by police union contract given the rights and the privileges to think that you're a danger to them. And thinking that you're a danger to them, even if you're sitting on the couch playing video games with your 8-year-old relative, is enough for them to use lethal force on you. In the commission of their duties as a law enforcement officer, they are empowered to think about every single one of us as a lethally dangerous criminal. You, go look in the mirror right now. You, in the eyes of a police officer, unless you are one, and even if you are one, you're probably still a danger. Every single one of us, that guy in the mirror, that's you. That lady in the mirror, that's you. You are a threat to every police officer. I've been posting videos from the Hassan Minhaj show, Patriot Act, which is fabulous. That can be found on Netflix, where they talk about the fact that being a police officer is a job of being the most violent person on the scene, and that violence is their tool. Violence is their domain. Killing you, and I'm quoting, is just not that big a deal. Okay, so while you're mourning your dead, while we're mourning our dead, you need to know that in the world of the people that are doing the murdering of those dead, that it's just not that big a deal. Now you know why the judge hugged Amber Guyger after she murdered someone. Because contractually, Amber Guyger is empowered to murder anyone she wants, even off duty after she was having a sexting chat with her boyfriend and intoxicated with her gun. She's still a sympathetic character to a judge, because law and order is about keeping slavery, incarceration, racism, and genocide going. These are ugly words, friends. These are ugly words, and they're the absolute truth. They're the absolute facts of life that I am telling you, and that you need to tell your children, and you need to tell your family and friends. Because if you think these police murders where they're walking into people's own houses and killing them are anomalies, you need to wake the fuck up. This is how you die. And let me tell you something. I know a lot of people who have family members that have died at the hands of the state. It never gets better. It never, ever, ever, ever gets better, and you won't get justice. So I learned things because I do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You could say I am completely obsessed with the police state of our country. And I'm facing over 3+ years in jail thanks to fascist, Trump-supporting, pedophile-supporting Mayor Ted Wheeler of Portland, Oregon. Facing over 3 years in jail for free speech and calling police murderers, and calling out the city attorney, and calling out the city council, and calling out the mayor that covers up the murders of innocent men and women on our streets. Blind black man visiting Portland from Sacramento, California, Andre Gladden, was murdered in cold blood by Officer Consider Vosu, who nobody's ever seen, who never testified at all to anyone, not even the police, regarding his actions on that day, and alleged that a blind man, let me do this for you. I'm going to close my eyes. A blind man took his knife, dropped his knife, picked up his knife, and wielded his knife, and had to be shot to death. A blind man. A blind black man. Okay, here's the thing that you need to know. Cops see us all as supervillains, superheroes. I posted this week, again, on my Twitter feed and also on Facebook, a horrific story from Oregon where police murdered an accident victim, a car accident victim who was bloody and confused and hurt, and they murdered him. And they talk about it in this long audio story. It's available on YouTube, and I'll share that again. His name was Fod Cady, and it was in Sandy, Oregon. They murdered him because they were afraid of bloodborne pathogens. They had been terrified about the danger of citizens bleeding on them. And these cops will talk to you very clearly in their own words on this tape about murdering an injured man with less passion than someone would use to put down an injured animal. All these solutions that we talk about to each other of police review boards and citizen review boards and reviewing this union contract and doing this and doing that, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. They've been doing this for years and years and years and years and years. And now the general public is really catching on because of the internet and because of Trump and because we're all paying attention to the fact that we live in a police state, even those of us that used to be able to ignore it. Right? Now it's not ignorable anymore. You're the only solution. It's not men with guns. It's not your politicians. You have to demand. We all have to demand. We have to shut down this shithole country and demand that police unions and police are abolished. These murderers, 16 men, 16 police officers were in on the cover-up of Laquan McDonald's murder in Chicago. 16! I propose to you that police crimes outnumber the crimes of the community for which they arrest people. I submit to you that police are the danger. They are the men and women with badges and guns that are empowered to kill you, to brutalize you, to frame and murder you, to put you in jail, to enslave you, to put you someplace where you can't talk to an attorney. You can't get help. You can't get your family. You don't think this can happen to you? Oh man, read my Twitter feed. Read about all these nice people that write in and talk about how this happened to them. And they were They had never had a bad experience with cops before. Maybe they even called these cops that kicked the shit out of them and ruined their life to the scene. I did. I was approached by a stranger on the sidewalk of Centralia, Washington, right outside McMenamin's Olympic Club. If any of you are from this area and you know where that is. I was approached by a shaved-headed, tight-clothed, stare-it-up little Nazi fuck. And this person touched noses with me and spit in my face. I'd never seen this person before, I swear to you on my life, and said, "Get off my sidewalk, get out of my town. Centralia, Washington, don't go there." I told him to go fuck himself and didn't move because he definitely chose the wrong guy. Probably purposefully, I guess. I don't know if I look gay or Jewish or gay and Jewish or both, but whatever. He decided, again, to touch noses and spit in my face and say, "Get off my sidewalk, get out of my town." I again suggested that he fuck himself and asked him to go stand over on the side while I called the police and got him the help he needed. Guess who the police came for? Not him. They came and took a 44-year-old man, father of two, never been arrested before in my life, didn't even have a traffic ticket in the prior 28 years. Not even a traffic ticket. The Centralia police took me off the streets, falsely arrested me, held me, tortured me for 27 hours, and lied to my family. Even in the newspaper, it says Jeff Black, 44, of Salem, Oregon, was picking fights on the street because that's what peace activists do in a strange town when they're all alone and know nobody, is go pick fights on the street with strangers, because that's what peace activists do. That's a long history that I have, of course, is picking fights with strangers on the street. They're insane. These cops are insane. They're liars. They torture people. They arrest people. They frame people. And they lie to their families. They lie to everyone. They lie to the press. They're a gang. And you know what? You know who's in on it? You know who listens to cops? The ambulance drivers listened to the cops while they tortured me. He's not going to get a ride in the ambulance. He's going the hard way in the back of a police car with his face down on a seat, spit hooded, unable to breathe. That's how I got to go to the hospital. And you know what happened in the hospital? I said to the nurse, "Nurse, the police pulled me off the street. I'm innocent. My name's Jeff Black. I'm a civil rights writer. Please take off this spit hood. I can't breathe." The nurse said, "No." I said, "But I never spit on anybody. I threw up." The nurse walked away. I never got to see a doctor. I never even got to see a doctor. I rolled myself off a 5-foot exam table onto a marble floor, hoping to hurt myself enough that the police didn't take me back out because I thought I was going to be murdered. I was spit hooded, pulled over in a police car in the middle of nowhere. I can hear nothing. I can see nothing. I was waiting for the bullet to enter the back of my head. And it was absolutely clear to me that these guys didn't care if I survived this experience or not. They delivered the mail. They took me into the police bay where the car drives in, and they stood around in a group while they tortured me. They laughed about it. Males and females tortured, laughed, ambulance driver, hospitals, doctors. Everyone supports this lie. Now, I never got any justice. This was 5 years ago in June. Never even filed suit. Because I explored it. And you know what I was told? You don't have a shot. You don't have a shot. They do this all the time. All the time. So when it happens to you and you think, wow, I'm going to get justice. I'm going to sue these guys. I'm going to stand up for my rights. No, you're not. You're not. And guess what? I was alive to tell people the story. Quite fortunately. I went into hiding for 6 months and recovered because I thought they were going to kill me. I had to get tons and tons of help for PTSD, but damn it, I lived. A lot of these folks don't live. And then all you read is the lies that the police put out to justify murdering innocent people. It can be you. It was me. Man, I got no criminal record. I got a master's degree from Duke. I'm a dad, citizen, middle class looking guy at least, although I'm poor as fuck now since I started working on police murder. There's no money in police murder, that's for sure. Don't run your scams focusing on police murder. This is reality. This is brutal reality, which is the name of my book that's coming up. That police can and will do anything to you. And I'm 99% sure I'm actually looking to explore this fact that the person that told me to get off his sidewalk and get out of his town was an off-duty cop. So who's the bullies and who's the gangs in town when a guy stops for a salad on his way from Portland to Seattle to get a salad and some gas and ends up almost dead at the hands of Nazis? It changed my life. It changed everything, right? Changed my relationship with my parents, changed my relationship with my kids, changed my relationship with my life, with surviving that, with dealing with a murderous gang from which you'll never, ever receive justice. So, I'm not the only one, right? In fact, I'm one of the lucky ones. I lived. So, this Periscope thing is kind of off the cuff. There's just been so much murder and mayhem that I wanted to touch base with you directly today. I'm going to go switch away from this real quick and see if anyone's posted any questions or anything. If I cut you off, I'm going to come back in a second broadcast. But let's see what happens. Hold on.